Every day a woman reigns. It's time to live your dreams. Nothing's gonna stop you now. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Every day a woman reigns. Every day a woman reigns.
Welcome to Style with Trysh. Yay. We have an amazing guest for you on today. Actually, some of my favorite people. Alfred, I work with him. I call him AT, so excuse me for that. We had several Alfreds in the group, so we decided to go with the acronyms of AT. But every platform I've been on, when I was doing radio and I was just doing plain radio, when I was doing radio and it was streaming, and then and now he's here with me on Facebook Live, and he'll soon be on my show. So make sure you listen and stay tuned for that. But Coach Alfred and Patrice Terry are here with us tonight. And as you guys know, I am representing Swagger Magazine on tonight by way of Style with Trysh. And one of the things that I've been kind of really trying to really push into us, not necessarily, and I know AT, you're going to go into it a little bit further, but not necessarily for New Year's resolutions. It should be just an overall. But if New Year's resolution is what kickstarts your journey into health and fitness, as well as, because they are coaches in that area, but they are also life coaches, and they help and inspire and encourage you to just pursue your dream. And that's what Style with Trysh is about: pursuing your dream, working out and walking out your dreams. But help me welcome to Style with Trysh on tonight none other than Coach Alfred and Patrice Terry. Welcome, guys. So I don't know yours, Patrice. So this is gonna be my first time really getting to. We got to meet in person, by the way. This is gonna be my first time hearing your story. But starting out with Alfred, it really feels weird calling you Alfred. I'm going back to AT. I gotta go back to AT. But AT, can you please share a little bit of your journey in the area of wellness? What happened in your life that caused you to take the route of wellness?
I mean, it's funny you ask, because right now we're 10 years, going to the next would be 10 years. So I didn't start lifting weights, working out, getting serious till 2013.
Okay.
And just like you said, New Year's, Patrice and I, every New Year's, we're going to, new year, new me, we're going to get fit. We're going to break out the, what was it, Tybo. We're going to break out the Insanity. We're going to get the DVDs and share them with people. And we'll start the kids laughing at us because we're in front of the TV for the first 3 weeks of the year like everybody else, and we fizzled out.
Yeah.
But 2013, my son graduated from college, and my grandmother came up to visit, and she was in Alabama, and she pretty much never came out of Alabama, but she came up to Atlanta for the actual graduation. Mm-hmm. And while she was here, I actually took off, or actually worked from home that day. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there watching Steve Harvey, and we're joking, cracking jokes, and laughing at the show. And about a couple of minutes into the show, she started choking. And I'm like, you all right? And she just collapsed in the chair. So I yell up to my son. I come down. I'm doing CPR on her, and I'm calling. He's calling 911. The EMTs get there. They're working on her. Patrice, she's there. She's frantic, and I'm trying to remain calm. And I'm just looking, and I can see the body language on the EMTs as they're working on her, that things wasn't looking good. Big mom like every other grandma.
Right.
Holiday, sweet potato pies, peach cobblers, fried chicken, the good foods, you name it. And she's had heart trouble in the past. And sad to say, she didn't make it. And it was really the changing point for me. Like, most people want to leave a legacy of money and things of that nature, or material things. But my legacy I wanted to do for generations to come behind me and my family was to focus on your health. Yeah. Because without health, we can't do anything. So from that point on, I started out at Planet Fitness. Got my Planet Fitness membership. I was excited. I almost got the bumper sticker and put it on my car. I had this huge T-shirt. I was weighing about close to 230 at that time. You know, I'm not the tallest, so I was round. And growing up, you know, in college and as I grew up around my friends, it was cool to have, you know, the stomach. I mean, good living. We living good. And but
he was very round, Trysh. Round was put mildly.
But I knew I had to focus this time. So I started at Planet Fitness. I started doing the little free workouts they had. Then I said, okay, I need to step it up a little bit. I'm going to go to LA Fitness, to another gym, and I'm going to watch the trainer. Because I don't need a trainer. My ego was like, I'm not going to pay nobody so I can lose weight. So I started going there, watching the trainers, not getting any results because it's a key to trainers and why they are paid to be trainers, because they train you to lose weight and stay in shape.
Right.
So I ended up hiring me a trainer, and you know me, I love people. So once he started training me, I started training with them. We started doing fit camps all around Atlanta. And from there, I mean, story's history. 10 years from now, started taking supplements, started training consistently, and I never stopped.
So Patrice, what's your story? Is it kind of similar? Because that would be traumatic for me. I mean, it really would.
Absolutely not. No. So you know, when grandma came up, like as y'all call him AT, I call him Bay. Like Bay was saying, you know, it was my grandma. I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm a Southern girl. We eat Southern food. We like our pork. We like our seasonings, you know, all of that stuff. And so that was my lifestyle. You know, I have never been overweight. So I've always been athletic. And my mom, they kept me busy. I'm sorry if y'all hear my puppy. He is just dying to be
okay.
But you know, I was always in sports, but many, you know, and many of your viewers know that just because you're not overweight doesn't mean you're healthy.
Right.
You know, so there are skinny people diseases that can kill just like those that have weight on them. Okay. So lifestyle was not, from an eating perspective, I had a very unhealthy relationship with food. Mine was just the opposite though, because I was a classical dancer. And so, you know, being Black and a classical dancer, my body shape naturally did not fit the mold of a classic ballerina. So I would not eat. I would forget to eat. I'd get too busy to eat.
That's me.
Which is what I hear from a lot of my our busy mothers, right? Not just single moms, but busy moms and professional women that I talk to about healthy habits with food. We forget to eat, and that's just as bad, could be just as detrimental to our glucose and our weight gain as overeating. But when grandma passed right there in front of me, I was devastated. I had to focus on my mental health first. Like, you know, AT, the physical route, which I feel like most guys probably do, just the way they're made different that way. He went physical, I went emotional. So I had to focus on my physical health. And that's what I did at that point. I had to make sure that I got back to sleeping, you know, because there were weeks that I could not sleep. I mean, when you're talking about the matriarch of the family passing in front of you in your home and you still stay there, you know, in front of your kids, I had a lot to process during that time. And food was not on my mind. Like, that wasn't one of them. But making sure that I was sleeping, making sure that I was hydrated, because I had headaches during that time. So I approached it from a wellness perspective in a totally different facet. And it became one of the pillars of Commit to Fit now. So we focus on the physical, but we also focus on the mental and the emotional aspect of it, because they go hand in hand. So maybe about 2 years into his journey, into the physical journey, I started saying, okay, I might work out, you know, I mean, because when the thing about AT is when he commits to something, like, he's all in. He is all in. Me, not so much. You know, I'm a
Mhm.
teeter, I'm a totter, I'm gonna find something else to do.
Mhm.
But when I saw the results, like the
Mhm.
first 50 pounds came off of him in like 4 months.
Wow.
I didn't have 50 pounds to come, you know, to lose, but
Mhm.
when I started seeing his results, then he started cooking more. So he
Mhm.
was really strategic in how he was introducing it to the family. He didn't just like push it down our throats. You know, he just
Right.
buying iceberg lettuce. He
Yeah.
stopped buying bread, you know, and
Mhm.
when I'd bring bread in the house, it would conveniently disappear.
Cheez-Its, Oreos. I'm just soon as I see it, I'm in the garbage can.
You know, that's kind of how he did it. And we had a high schooler at the time too. And you know, he just slowly, he was a football player. He slowly stopped bringing in snacks in the house and started replacing it with fresh fruit, you know.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how he strategically changed it and introduced it to us. And about
Mhm.
3 years into that journey, then I joined. And I was like, okay, I see results.
Mhm.
I can't bring bread in anyway. He keeps throwing away my cookies.
Potato
So,
chips.
you know, I
No
better get on
contraband
board.
allowed.
I'll get on board with this thing. And it's been a wrap since then.
Good. That is excellent. And I think that it really helps when your spouse or significant other is on board with you. I'm trying to get mine there. He ain't there yet. As far as the eating, the workout and all that, he'll do that. But the eating, he don't want you messing with his food right now.
Mhm.
But like you said, you can kind of take, especially with being a wife, the main person who cooks in the home. It's easier for me to kind of transition him versus him transitioning me.
Mhm.
He would have to cook more for that, like AT was doing. So I love the stories of how you started in, but while both of you were talking, I just kind of want, and this is kind of off topic, we're gonna kind of zip in and out of different topics just because I have so much I want to ask. But how did you guys meet? How did you meet? When did you meet? And when did you know AT was the one? And Patrice, when did you know he was the one?
Oh, wow. Girl, let me see. How long we got on this show? Now, so Alfred and I actually met, oh my gosh, what year was it? 2003.
2000.
Okay.
And yeah, 2002, 2003, we were co-workers.
Oh, okay.
And I was in HR. I've been in
Mhm.
HR for a long, long time.
Mhm.
And Alfred worked in one of the departments there at our job, autotrader.com.
Mhm.
And he had a mobile detailing company.
Mm.
He was trying
He
to,
always doing something, but that's
Internet,
I never heard it.
like always 19 businesses going on.
Right.
So he was trying at that time to push up on me, you know, but
I was just
in
detailing her
HR.
car.
He was trying to detail my car for free, Trysh. You know, I was like, no, let me give you this check because I'm in HR. And you're not
Right.
at me
We
like
know.
that. Yeah. So actually, to be totally transparent, we were both going through a divorce at the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I wasn't in a headspace to even be where we are now. We were both two totally different people.
Totally.
Mhm.
And what he would come, eventually I said yes to a date. And he would come over when my divorce was proceeding. My boys, I have 3 boys.
Mhm.
And their father would come and pick them up on the weekends. Well, I've
Mhm.
been a mom since I was 18.
Mm.
All that was my identity during
Yeah.
that part of my life, you know.
Yeah.
So when my boys were gone, I didn't have any noise in the house. That
Mhm.
was devastating to me. It
Mm.
was almost like it was a loss for those people who have gone through divorce. It is a loss. It's a grieving
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So AT would come over and he would say, pick a highway. And we would just get in the car and we would just ride
Ride
for
out.
hours.
Wow.
We would ride up 20, we'd ride up 75, 80,
No destination.
no destination in mind. We would
Mhm.
just ride. And the only rule was no radio. So
Mm.
we could sit silently or we could talk.
Mhm.
We would I remember us passing through these new neighborhoods out in the country, looking at houses.
Mhm.
We'd go to
Mhm.
antique shows
Farmers
and stuff like
markets,
that.
flea
Whatever we
markets.
pass by, no destination, no agenda, or no itinerary. And then he bring me back home. And that got me through that every other weekend when my boys were away.
Yeah.
But my father would tell me when me and my father and my mother, I have a really close family. He would say, daughter, there's no right way to do the wrong thing. And so I knew that as much as I loved him from the moment I said yes to the date, that it was not going to be blessed the way that we were doing it. And we and that was that. But I didn't cut it off. He cut it off.
Why you cut it off, AT?
As I knew it wasn't right, and then we both pretty much was raised in similar households, and we know when something not right, it's not going to work out in the end. And we had business to finish on both of our ends. So, like she said, we both were going through a divorce anyway. So I cut it off, and I need to get myself together. I mean, mentally,
yes.
I'm going through a divorce. I'm trying to work. I got businesses to run. Got to find a place. I got to do this, and then think about it. We're in our mid-20s. We're doing the best that we can do at the age he was, and it was real crucial because mentally you don't have those people to talk to. I know about counseling. I didn't have the right. My friends, young as me, going through it, and they don't know. They ain't got no good advice to tell me. So
that's true.
I just got real like a recluse. I just got by myself, moved in with one of my partners. Start going to church, got surrounded by men in church, start reading, start meditating, and start being alone to find my true self going through the middle of the storm. And once I got myself back together and we bumped into each other.
We didn't bump into each other. Tell her what
well, no. I saw her and she didn't see me in the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
I think he was stalking me, Trish.
You might be right, Patrice.
Like this is like the old folks say, like we on this here social media, on this here Facebook Live. I slid into her DM. Because before we started dating, none of this was even available.
Right.
We didn't have any contact with each other while we was going through.
Yeah.
So thank Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook. I slid into her DM and asked her how she was doing, small talk, and then we end up going out on a date.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years later.
Wow, that's amazing. I love to hear people's love stories. It's just always, and it's so funny how different the story is for the woman and the man. Because me and my husband tell different stories too. Because he was chasing me, but he will swear up and down he was.
He was chasing.
He was chasing. So we say no, and we didn't. I didn't have any contact with him. He didn't contact me for 7 years. Okay,
wow.
So we both had lives in that 7-year span, Right. But I didn't hear from him when we cut it off. It was cold turkey. It was and that's really the way it had to be.
Oh yeah,
because he would have become a crutch for me going through what I was going through at the time. But when we got back together, I say he was stalking me, Trisha. I mean, because my house was broken into. He knew about that. He knew all the boys' baseball accomplishments. Like he knew when I bought a new car. I'm like,
wow,
dude, what were you? What like you were riding all the house?
And every now and then, if I was in that area, I would pass by and just look over. That's when I was on that side of town, periodically.
But it's wonderful to see how it ended up, and it's very encouraging. Me myself, I've been married. I'll be forgetting. Let me see. It is 22. I've been married for 23 years. Next year will be 24 years, and it's encouraging for couples who have had struggles, who have gone. Because I'm my husband's second wife, so he's been married and divorced before. But it's encouraging to see. And to hear your stories, because there are so many people out here who are single or divorced, and they're like wondering, will I ever find love? Will I ever find love? And sometimes you will find your love. It's just like with you guys, it wasn't the right season. But if it's meant to be, trust and believe it's going to circle back around, and you will have that opportunity to have your one. And so I love your stories. I love, and I know you guys have all kind of marital advice you can give and you can share to those who you do all kind of coaching. But at any rate, we're going to go back to a little bit of fitness, and then we're going to come back to the couple stuff. One of the things that I love that you said earlier, Patrice, was you talked about being in that mental place. And sometimes the mental place will just happen for you to where you're saying, okay, well, I want to get, and I want to be fit, and I want to do right by myself. And wellness isn't just going and working out. It's not just eating. It's overall health, mental, spiritual. It's the whole wellness of the whole being. For me, it wasn't mental. I had a scare. And so now I'm like, I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to work out. I'm eating right. Like for Thanksgiving, we didn't do traditional Thanksgiving. We did baked chicken, we did a baked potato, and we did a salad. That was Thanksgiving. Because it just isn't worth the fullness of life, is what I'm saying. The food, and because every time, and I had a friend say, well, Trish, why don't you start next year, or why don't you start? Because it's always going to be something. It's always going to be something. It's going to be Valentine's Day. It's going to be Easter. It's going to be your birthday. It's anniversary. It's always going to be. Yeah. And so for me, it was not a mental thing. It was a health scare for me. But can you guys kind of break down for me what it means when a person is mentally, doesn't mean you don't need no coaching, because trainers and coaches get on my last nerve, but it's what I need to keep going forward and going to attaining my goal. But what does it look like when it's a mental decision? I made this mental decision that I'm going to do it nonstop. This is my lifestyle. This is who I am, period, point blank. Because I think that's where a lot of us fail. We say, okay, well, I don't like the way I look, but because I don't like the way I look, I'm going to go and work out, and then I'll last 2 weeks, maybe 3, and quit.
For me, and I'll let AT answer that as well, but I think you just said it in the last sentence. You said, I don't like the way I look. Mm-hmm. If it's tied to an emotion, emotions change, right? Yeah. I feel good this moment. I feel bad that moment. Mm-hmm. And based on how we feel, especially me as a woman, I feel like if I look good, I'm gonna feel good. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So if I put on my Spanx leggings, I look good.
Right.
My Walmart leggings, not so much. I feel like I need to go, walk a couple of laps or whatever. Mm-hmm. It can't be tied to your emotional journey. Mm-hmm. Your purpose can't be emotional, because that's going to change. Mm-hmm. But when you create a purpose and you tie it to something really meaningful, when I look at my granddaughters or our granddaughters, and right now we have one that's teething, and my son sent us a picture last night. She was gnawing on a celery stick that he had cut for her, and I was like, wow, that's legacy.
Yeah.
Not the child, but what that child is gnawing on. She's not gnawing on a peppermint stick or candy or anything like that. They're
bone.
Yeah. They're pureeing her food, fresh and without additives in it. That is legacy. So when I told them my purpose, when I got my purpose in mind and said, you know what, I may not be able to change the DNA from my generation, because Big Mama's just one generation removed from me. But if I can start slowly changing the trajectory of the health of those that are coming behind me, then that's my purpose. So when I look at Alea and Jayla and our grandchildren, see them eating differently, I know their life is going to be different. The quality of life is going to be what I have. And when you have a purpose like that, a purpose worth dying for, not just how you feel for that moment or what event you're going to that's coming up, it'll last.
Yeah. That was good. AT, you have anything you want to add?
It's the same. Like when I said, as far as my legacy, as far as health, when I get a client, the first thing I ask them, because you let yourself down all the time. Each time I ask them, what's your why? Why are you doing it? You can't do this for a family reunion. You can't do it for a class reunion, a wedding, a birthday party, because you're going to fail yourself every time. I'm doing it for the family. Like the holidays, I had both of my parents and my in-laws here for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And I know certain diseases that run in my family. And I know certain medicines and things my parents are on that I don't want to be on. So I try to show them different foods, and they eat different because I eat different. And I know so much is riding on me if I stop working out, if I stop eating right and give up, they will go back into those areas. But I don't want to be I mean, when I get older, I don't want to have to depend on someone to take care of me. And I tell people, if they have kids in high school, do you want to walk down the aisle with your daughter when she gets married, or do you want to be rolled or on a crutch? It's what you're doing now in your 30s that's going to prepare you for your 40s. What you're eating and working out for your 40s is going to prepare you for your 50s, and you have to take care of your body because we only have one body.
Yeah.
And I wish. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Another question that we ask clients is who's watching you? Like, who's depending on you? You know, and not just from a financial perspective, right? But many of our kids, whether they want to be like us or not, you know, whether we wanted to be like our parents or not, we took the best and some the worst of our parents.
That's true.
If they see that you don't have the discipline to finish something, then they're likely not to have the discipline to finish something. So the habits that we create, whether we want to or not, they're passed down.
Just like she was saying, I'm sorry, but it just made me think about my granddaughter. When I'm training clients here in our home garage, in the home gym, she's working out with us. She's been working out since she was
years old.
Since she's been able to walk. She's been in every gym, wherever I'm training, she's working out. And that's priceless to see 3 generations. I've had my mother-in-law, my wife, my nephew and niece, and my granddaughter all training with my clients at the same time. So it's those generations where everyone's working out at the same time.
It's so important. I was never athletic. I am a creative. When I say I think with the left side of my brain, I think with the left side of my brain. I am a creative to a T. So when I was growing up, my mother always worked out. She always worked out. She was not really into sports, but I remember the what's the guy with the curly hair with the tight short
Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons. Yeah. I remember her watching him, and she had these different workout things, but it was never, and my mom really did try to be, I label her herbalist because she believes that any ailment that we have that is to the human body, God already has a healing something on this land, on this earth. So she is not one that's going to be taking a lot of medications, and she really watches what she eats. But she didn't really, we saw her do that, but we didn't really, I'll speak for myself. I didn't adapt to it. And because I was naturally small all the way up until I got pregnant with my daughter. So I never really had, like you said earlier, Patrice, I was small, but I wasn't healthy. And I just lived off that. I thrived off of that. I was never athletic, where everybody else was running track and playing sports. I was in the choir, or I was writing a song, or I was doing something in the creative realm. And so only until I got older and things started slowing down, and I was like, wait a minute, I need to. And so now I feel like I'm having to play catch up because the body I'm in now I'm not used to this body. So then at that point, and also with a health scare, I had to say, okay, you know what? I got to get serious about this thing. I don't eat pork. I don't eat beef. And I still was not healthy. People can say, oh, well, you're eating beef, you're eating pork, or you're vegetarian. I know vegetarians that are not healthy. They are not healthy at all. And so it isn't just about what you eat. It's also about how you care for your body. So moving on from there, I mean, we could talk all day long on that. And the time is going so fast. I got like 10 questions I ain't even asked you. I'm so mad. Okay, so we're going to venture off of the fitness just for a second. And I want to kind of go back on the couple topic. How is it being able to, because I can tell you right now, but you have to know your marriage and you have to know your mate. I would choke the ever living mess out of Ed Stanley, if I had to work with him in that capacity, how are you guys able to do it and maintain it in a way and make it look easy? I know it isn't always easy, but make it look easy. How are you able to do that? AT, I'll start with you because I know Patrice gonna come with a great answer.
So my not so great answer is I love to do life and business with my wife. It's a constant. Me personally, like you say, it's the person.
Yeah.
And I stay working on myself and self-mastery and my thoughts and being transparent with her. And it forces me to be a better communicator since we do business together, life together, and we have so much things. And I used to just be just a wild child. I'm doing everything. She brought me in, tweaked me with using the calendar, gave me structure. And now that I'm a structured individual,
y'all hear all that sarcasm?
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
For real though, she helped me with my communication skills because we have to stay on point because we have so many irons in the fire and so many things in play that we have to communicate. And sometimes I would just wait to the end, like even with the podcast or the live we're doing now. I had to keep like, did she get the email? I get the email. She'll tell me, did you check this? Did I check this? Okay, I did that. Then I followed up with you to make sure we got the link, to make sure we're on, and just to make sure everything, my ducks are in a row. But it's a constant me working on me to communicate better instead of holding it in and try to do everything. Know how to dish out other portions for other people to do, because I used to try to do anything that needed to be done.
Yeah,
I wanted to do it, make sure it's done right, but now I will actually delegate people to do certain things. Hold up, here's the best answer.
but no, that's a great answer that you gave, because when you think about it, that I'm always, my mind sometimes always go biblical, but when you think about it, that was the issue Moses had. You know, he was always he felt like he had to do I have to do everything, and he had to get to a point where things had to be delegated, you know, and that's when Aaron came in. So that's a great answer, AT. I wasn't saying you wasn't gonna give a great answer.
Not even that though. When we first came into the relationship, I was big, like most men, like my father, he worked all the time, brought the bread home, and my whole focus was securing the bag. When then about dating, when then about romance, when then about, I got one goal and one job is to secure this bag and bring home everything you need, and your life should be happy because I'm securing the bag. But I had to retrain my thinking to know she needs more than that, and I had to learn her to know her love languages and how I can love her and make secure the bag and income at the same time.
And you know, you opened up a whole can of worms, because when you just said that, the same way you saw your dad, because dads, I won't say all dads, but that generation of dads, very few of them were talking to their sons. They were just being examples to their sons. Our mamas was talking to us, and they was telling us,
just go get it.
We need more than just you bringing your, you know, we need more from our husbands than bringing home the bacon. We need relationship. We need conversation. And our mamas was talking to us, and my mama was talking to me. And so I see where that could have been a thing. You guys have been able to overcome it. But go ahead, Patrice, share your piece.
You actually, you said it, Trysh. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that we went away, we grew up, and then we came back together. We didn't try to grow up together and struggle through what we knew was incorrect, because when we came back together, I was able to tell him, you know what, I admire your hustle and I appreciate it, but I don't need it. What I need are the intangibles. I need your time. I need a hug. You know, I need vacations. Like I need things for us to do together, because I was already secure in my bag.
Right.
And your bag is not, is not needed. And we can't put that together. But to be successful, I need you to be here for me and the boys as well.
Yeah.
So I had to communicate that to him.
Yes, made me close down a couple of businesses.
Yeah, he had about 3 businesses. And I was like, dude, like you're gone from 4 a.m. until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm in bed. I told you sleep is important to me. I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock, at 9. We're in the bed every night. So we're not communicating. We don't have any we time. So being you know, we have a consulting business that's grown out of this, but I had to take my skill set and then hire, you know, where I didn't have the strength. We went and we sought help to say, okay, how can we take these 3 businesses? You know, either you're going to hire somebody to run these businesses and you're going to that process, or we're going to close these businesses, because I can't believe that God would bring us together to never have us together.
Right, right.
Well, we did that. We worked through that. We restructured those businesses. We haven't lost a beat. We still have 3 businesses. We have a consulting business, a fitness business, but we managed to do that together now. So his strengths and my strengths come together, and we haven't missed out on anything. Now the fitness business, he's the face of that. Okay. Like, if I had to, you guys see how he works out. Okay? I don't talk that way. He understands that. He understands you know, this is what I'm going to do. This is my lane. I'm not getting out there doing all that crazy stuff, push-ups, all that. I'm not doing that. But I am going to be consistent. And so I think we just communicate that to one another, and we help push each other through, you know.
And that's so important to be able to know, because that's the thing that I experienced with my husband. He knows what my strengths are, and he is a behind the scenes all the way. But I don't know if you ever seen that meme where it's the lioness is sitting in front of the lion, and the lion has her back, but she's sitting up front. That's my husband. And you have to know, and you have to have that balance. Like you said, you know, you have to know, like, he know I'm gonna be out front. I'm gonna be talking, running my mouth. He's in the background, not saying anything. People don't think my husband talk, but he does. But you need that balance, because when I come home, then I take the back, and a lot of women might have a problem with that, but it works for us. I take the back and he takes the forward, because that's where he's more confident, where he's more established and all of that. And he takes the lead there. And so, but when we out in public, trust me, you probably might get 2 words from him, but you definitely need that balance. So I kind of know, I'm getting to know Patrice. Like, girl, we got to meet. We got to go to lunch, brunch, or something. We got to do something.
Yeah, we have. We'll talk. I'm going to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping back on the fitness area, because that's where I'm at. I lost a couple of pounds, and I'm really proud of myself. But my journey is to be fit. It's not to look at a particular number, to look at a specific number. The person that I'm working with, it's a wellness, and I needed wellness because I wanted to keep track of all of my numbers, my, like you were saying earlier, my blood pressure, my cholesterol. I need to know all of that right now in my life. And so, one of the things I want to talk about is good eating habits versus zero exercise, because I'm seeing a lot of people who say, well, I eat well, but I can't stand to work out. I hate working out. Versus bad eating habits, and then they in the gym Monday through Sunday, for an hour or two. I think I know where you're going to say what the good combination is, but why are both of those scenarios not good?
I say, first off, like you were saying, when we get a client, the first thing is after what's your why, is knowing your numbers, like you're saying. So we're going to make sure they go to their doctor to know their numbers. Everyone is different. But also they have to understand that your muscle mass determines your mortality. And you want to work out to live a healthier life, to be around. For me and where I am right now, for the past couple of years, I buried 5 people close to me under 50 years old.
Wow.
A lot of these health-related issues. So that makes me push harder, but it's not as deep as some people think. You don't have to go all in the gym like we do. It's going for a walk, getting some sun, might go to a slight jog. You don't have to do the extraneous exercises. And I think too, social media put a lot of play on this too, because you see people doing all these crazy extreme workouts, and they really don't take all that. It's really not the workout. It's more of the eating right, then workout. Because if you eat right, you can just work out. Just normal, casual workouts will keep you, but it's all about eating, what you put into your body. And that's the biggest piece of it is the eating.
And
the
I'm
nutrition.
like Patrice, I have to force myself to eat. I'll look up and it's 2:00. I haven't eaten anything. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't eaten today. So I need to eat. So it's like you said, you need to eat. And it's
I have
what
to make sure she eats because she's
Yeah.
the schedule like yours. Once you have your busy schedule, you have to make sure you eat. Some of my clients, I have me to put it on their calendar. So they know they got alarms going off. Time for me to drink water. Time for me to eat.
I might need to do that. Yeah.
It's preparation.
Yeah, until you kind of get on autopilot with it. There are different tools that we give the clients to help them along the way, you know, whether it's putting it on the calendar, setting an alarm. There are lots of apps that can help, you know, track your progress and give you kudos. Because, you know, for me, I had to, because I don't want to eat in the mornings, but I know I need to break that fast, right? I need to have breakfast in the morning. So for me, I take these Orgain protein shakes. So I'm also lactose intolerant. So I can't just have any protein shake, but I'll drink those. It's like 16 grams of protein in there. I don't get the upset stomach from it. For me, it tastes great and it has very little sugar in it. So that gets me through. I'll drink that. I get up in the morning, drink my bottle of water, drink my protein shake, and that gets me through to lunch because I won't typically eat till around 11 or 12 anyway. AT is coming up and he's saying, hey, you need to eat, you know, so I work upstairs, he works downstairs, and he'll stir fry some veggies or something and bring it up to the office just so I can eat. But you have to figure out what you like. Like you can't get stuck in someone else's routine. Alfred mentioned social media. All of these people are trying to do these fads and they're trying to diet and they're trying to eat what everybody else is eating. Well, if you don't like boiled eggs, then you're probably not, it's not sustainable.
You're not stick to it. Yeah.
You're not going to stick to it. So find what works for you. And we have this app that we put our clients on where they get to go in and they get to pick food. So they put in their desired weight, they put in their, you know, height, weight, information like that. It's not just around losing weight though. It's around the caloric intake that they have. And it even breaks it down even more to say, okay, you need to be heavier on proteins. If you're trying to get leaner, then you need more proteins and less carbs. Or maybe you're on a, what is it called? The DASH diet. Some of our people that have medical conditions, they have a DASH diet. Okay, so they can't have much salt or, you know, but it breaks it down based on the food groups, the food types, and the caloric intake for them. And it just prints out a grocery list for them. And it's things that they like. If they don't like, if it says you need to eat raisin bread and they don't like raisin bread, it allows them to swap it for something in the list that has that same food makeup and caloric intake. So
I need you to text me that protein drink because I need more protein. I just started trying to do the almonds and the pumpkin seeds and all of that. So anything I can get, especially in the morning. Yeah. Because I'm like you, I'm not a morning eater.
And I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking in the morning. So I need to grab and go. Like I don't need to be mixing fruit and veggies. I don't need to be grab and I need to go.
And then I tell them don't overcomplicate it. Like diets and starting different fads. I hate them because diets have an end date and they stop.
Yeah.
So you stop that diet, you're gonna go back to what you're used to doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So make the lifestyle change, but don't make it so extreme. Just start taking certain food groups out. Even with my clients, if you like cookies, I tell them don't buy the pack of cookies, buy 2 cookies. Donuts, don't buy the big dozen, buy a donut and don't bring it home. Because majority of the time, if you bring it home, you're gonna start snacking on it late at night when you don't need to eat it, and that's when the problem arises.
Yeah. What I ended up having to do, which I had to stop eating out so much as well, because everybody doing something. So what I started doing was I started ordering appetizer, and that would be my meal. But if I ordered an entree, and I could eat an entree, I can eat a appetizer right there in that moment. But if I ordered an entree, if they had something I didn't like, this an entree, what I started doing was when I would eat a portion while I was there, and then I would take the remainder of it and I freeze it. I don't leave it in my refrigerator. I just freeze it. And so I had to get, and this is where we're going to next. I had to get out of the cheat day. And so, because for me, the cheat day would turn into a cheat weekend, and so what I had to do was I said, okay, well, I'm going to have a cheat meal, and I choose my cheat meal to be the lunch on that particular day. So I'm not eating a whole lot of, I'm doing a lot of seeds and smoothies and protein in the morning, and then I will eat that cheat meal. And then for dinner, I'm usually only eating a protein and a vegetable. Because if I do a cheat day and I'm cheating that whole day, I got leftovers from that cheat day that I'm going to go in and run into on Sunday. My cheat day, my cheat meal is lunch on Saturday. So what do you say about cheat meal, cheat day? Do you think people should just not have any pleasure in eating, or how do you think that should go?
It's hard because people don't understand, because like it'll start off as a cheat meal, and that cheat meal turn into their cheat day. But they really don't understand they didn't work up or work out enough to deserve that cheat day or cheat meal. And throughout the holidays, we've had family and friends over, and they keep telling me, you can have a cheat meal, you can have a cheat meal. So this is from before Thanksgiving Day, then Patrice's birthday, and my father's birthday tomorrow. So I'd be a weekend on cheat meals if I listen to my friends and family, but I had to be restricting, like, no, I can't, because I know my body intake, but still I can do it because how hard did I work out and how many calories I burn when I work out, I can do it. But that's one reason I don't post my cheat meals on social media, because people don't see I'm doing 8 to 10 miles a day, sometimes running. On a bike, I'm doing 50 to 60 miles. And if I post a hamburger and you just did 10 jumping jacks, 10 squats, and 10 push-ups, it's not
good. If you're doing them 10,
it's good if you're starting.
People don't understand too. A lot of people don't understand calories. I had a client, he was like, I'm at McDonald's, I had a Big Mac, but it was only 800 calories. And but they don't know. I had a Pop-Tart, it was only 60. And with marketing and branding, it throws people off on what they're really putting in their bodies. It's not just the calories, it's what the food is made out of. So I say, if you're going to work out hard, just in moderation. But when you're doing cheat meals, do it early in the day, because you don't want to do cakes, pies, fried food 8, 9 at night, and then you want to sleep. Do it early in the day. I would prefer you to have it, but do it in moderation.
And when I'm talking to the ladies, what I'm trying to get them to understand is the makeup, and AT hit on it, the makeup of the food, right? If you have been going for a period of time, even a week, probably past 3 days for most of us, and you haven't had any sugar, the moment you put sugar in your body, your glucose spikes, and your brain start going, oh, we missed that. We want more. We want more. So then you start craving sugar. You got to break the cycle all over again. So really you're putting your body in this constant loop of sugar and salt and sugar and salt. Once you go those 72 hours or that week and you break your body from wanting that, just keep it going. The moment you start it back, it's going to cycle, especially if you're not strong enough to have it in just moderation.
And I agree with that, because the sweets, I don't play sweets is not allowed in my cheat anything, because I'm not disciplined enough. And like you just described it, my system is not disciplined enough. But now on my cheat, I am a pasta girl, so I might do some mac and cheese on my cheat meal, but I do good carbs for the rest of the time, because I'm working out Monday through Friday doing boot camp type stuff. I need some kind of carb, even good carb, to help get me through that. So break that down for me, AT. Is that good or is that not good? But on my cheat day, I'm gonna have me some mac and cheese.
It's good because, like you said, you're doing the workouts, you're doing boot camp, and you're getting your high intense training going on. So you need that boost sometime, and your body's still burning when you leave working out. You're still burning calories.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand too that the junk food and the overly processed foods play a role in your mood. And they don't understand that you're upset and you mad and you eating Doritos, you're eating these cookies, but the chemical makeup of that food is making you upset too. So you're in an argument, you wonder why you jittery, or you going to work and you're mad and you still eating candy bars, you're still eating this junk. You're feeding the fuel and you're upset and not feeling good because of what you're eating, but the food is made to be addictive, so you continue to eat it and you continue to have that same mood. So it's like I say, try to limit it and cut out the processed food, because right now I'm big on studying food and nutrition, and you see the uprise and all the different cancers. When we came up, you didn't see cancer in young people or diabetes or high blood pressure, but it's the makeup of the foods now.
Yeah.
And the overly processed foods that we need to stop putting in our bodies so that we can live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the process is most people find difficult because it's quick fix. It's a quick fix, and so but then we have the meal prep. There's an answer for everything. We can make up excuses all day long for while we're not doing. All food is high price right now. It isn't just the healthier food. Everything is high price right now when it comes to. It's just we got to eat. So I prefer to spend the extra coins to eat healthier versus not. We have a few minutes left. And I wanted to have you guys share the different services that you offer, but then I also want you to both to be able to go out of the broadcast and sharing some encouraging words as people are approaching New Year's resolutions or trying to find ways to, and New Year's resolution isn't just around fitness. It could be around pursuing your dreams and your goals. So just share your services that you offer. And then each of you, if you can just offer some encouraging words for people who are out here trying to pursue their desires or their goals.
Services would be personal training, couples training. We do couples counseling. I do men. I do coaching for men. I do mentoring of young men. The list goes on for that. But any other services? So
well, I would say I'm gonna bucket it because so for the fitness company that we have, Commit to Fit Now, we have online training. We have the online meal planning that I talked about, the app that I talked about there. So if you don't want to be in person, let's say you're starting out, you're just starting your fitness journey, you don't really want to be in front of a trainer. You're comfortable in front of your TV or your computer, or on your phone, then we have a 28-day workout plan for you that you can do virtually. So that is on our website. The other services that we offer out there on committofitnow.com. So it's the number 2 fitnow.com. And then with Terry Consulting is where we do our coaching. So we do couples coaching and life coaching. And there's a portion of that business that's HR strategy that I do as well, which is totally different, but for some reason it's not the same business right now. But that is kind of how we're set up. That's what we're offering as far as services.
Okay, awesome. And now, since you shared the services, I'll just encourage someone who's trying to pursue their dreams, their goals. Just leave us with some encouraging words.
For me, for my men, I want to dig deep, go in on your mental health. A lot of men don't understand the traumas and the trials that you went through growing up. I'm still unlearning a lot of things that I thought was the right things growing up, but I go to therapy. I have a counselor. I have a trainer. I have a coach. And most people think that when they see successful people on television, athletes or entertainers, that they just arrive there. Kevin Hart, LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey, all these people have coaches. They have a team. They have people in place that they talk to get them through situations. And to my men, stop doing life alone. I have accountability partners, brothers that when I'm going through trying times, I call them. You know, we're taught to be macho. We can't cry. I cry in a minute. I cry for Patrice. I cry with my brothers when I'm going through situations. But men, you have to reach out. I'm tired of seeing men on television shooting the family or committing suicide or doing random dumb things that if they had someone to speak to, they would have got it off of their chest then. Or even in a relationship, communicate better with your spouse or your partner, because learn yourself. A lot of times when your partner is doing something that makes you upset, it's not your partner. It's something that trauma that happened in your past that you need to go back to figure out, why am I getting upset with this? It's not them. It might be your boss. It might be somebody in traffic. But men, go get help. We need it. We all need some help. And like I say, don't shy away from counselor and therapist, because it's helped me a lot.
And I just want to shout out accountability group, because that is kind of that's what led him to be, you know, part of what led him to be where he is today. The G-Men. Is there a website for it?
It's
gmenworldwide.com. Yeah. But that's a male accountability group that has really just been phenomenal and a blessing to us. For me, speaking to my ladies, you know, if you're in a marriage and you're in a committed relationship, you chose to do life with this person. You believe that God brought you together, or you wouldn't be there. So trust that you're where you're supposed to be and lean in when you need to. We don't have to carry everything. I heard Trysh say earlier, when you were saying your husband takes the lead at home in some things, and some women may not like that. But you know what? It's not for anyone to like what's going on in your household. It's what works for you in your household. So, you know, communicate honestly and communicate often. Let that man know, let your helpmate know what you need, and then listen. Listen. And I was speaking with a couple the other day, and she said, I don't like the way he talks. And son, I don't like the way he says some things to me when he get upset. Ladies, we are emotional. And that's just by nature, right? But I'll say, if you're in a committed relationship, I know this man loves me with all his heart. I know that he's the one that I'm supposed to be with. And I know his intentions for me are to love me, to protect me. So because I know that, I'm going to hear him. I'm going to hear his heart. Whether his tone is right or not, sometime we can talk about that tone later, but I'm going to hear his heart. So stop making emotional decisions based on temporary situations that cause you to go off the rail. I don't like talking to couples that I know are supposed to be together, but they've made emotional decisions based on a conversation or an argument that's led them down the wrong path. And get help. Get a coach. Get around married people. Married people should hang with married people. I'm not saying single people, y'all ain't no good, but we have similar situations. So hang around couples. We make sure that our circle understands the place we are in life right now.
Because the marriage is not easy, and like you said, it's so many single people out here now, and we act like we can't figure out why, but we really know why. And it's just a matter of being willing for all parties to be submissive and to be loving and to have an understanding. Because bottom line is, you chose that person. I'm a believer that you choose to love. You choose who you love. You choose who you spend your life with. It's not destiny. I know some people might argue that, but you choose who you love. It's several people I dated, but I chose to love regardless, without a shadow of a doubt, the man that I married. And so thick, thin, ugly, cute, this is where I'm at, you know? And so I love that you guys are sharing this message and you're here for us. I do have on our ticker where you can connect with AT on Instagram, and that's just a start. They have a whole website, commit to fit now website that you can go to. But if you want to just go shoot straight to him and DM him, share DM him and hit him up, and he'll connect you. If you want to connect with Patrice, you can connect with Patrice by way of AT as well. But you guys are going to definitely be on my show coming up. We're taping in February, so get ready. I'll be hitting y'all up again. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, and don't forget to send me that protein drink. Text it to me. All right, thank you guys, and have a great day.
Thank you, Trysh.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.